Hello, I am Rachel Gardner and today Dan Mason and I will be discussing Zbigniew Brzezinski.
Zbigniew Brzezinski is a counselor and trustee at the Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington, D.C. He is also the Robert D. Osgood Professor of American Foreign Policy at the School of Advanced International Studies, Johns Hopkins University.
From 1977 to 1981, Dr. Brzezinski was National Security Advisor to U.S. President Jimmy Carter. In 1981, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his role in the normalization of U.S.-China relations and for his contributions to the human rights and national security policies of the United States.
After serving in the Carter administration, Dr. Brzezinski was a member of the President's Chemical Warfare Commission, 1985, the National Security Council Defense Department Commission on Integrated Long-Term Strategy, 1987 to 1988, and the President's Foreign Intelligence Advisory Board, 1987 to 1989.
In 1988, he was chairman of the Bush National Security Advisory Task Force, and in 2004, he was chairman of the Council on Foreign Relations Task Force that issued the report Iran, Time for a New Approach.
Dr. Brzezinski received a BA and MA from McGill University and PhD from Harvard University. Among the many books he has authored or co-authored include America and the World, Conversations on the Future of American Foreign Policy, Basic Books, 2008, Second Chance, Three Presidents in the Crisis of American Superpower, Basic Books, 2007, and The Choice, Global Domination or Global Leadership, Basic Books, 2004. His latest book is Strategic Vision, America and the Crisis of Global Power, Basic Books, 2012.
He writes, "In fact, the strategic complexities of the world in the 21st century resulting from the rise of a politically self-assertive global population and from the dispersal of global power make such supremacy unattainable. But in this increasingly complicated geopolitical environment, an America in pursuit of a new, timely strategic vision is crucial in helping the world avoid a dangerous slide into international turmoil.
America's global standing in the decades ahead will depend on its successful implementation of purposeful efforts to overcome its drift toward a socio-economic obsolescence and to shape a new and stable geopolitical equilibrium on the world's most important continent by far, Eurasia.
America can significantly upgrade its domestic condition and redefine its central international role in keeping with the new objective and subjective conditions of the 21st century. But, in order to achieve this, it is essential that America undertake a national effort to enhance the public's understanding of America's changing, and potentially dangerous, global circumstances.
America's inherent assets still justify cautious optimism that such a renewal can refute the prognoses of America's inevitable decline and global irrelevance. But public ignorance of the growing overall vulnerability of America's domestic and foreign standing must be tackled deliberately, head-on, and from the top down.
In America, truly comprehensive national decisions require a unique degree of consensus, generated by dramatic and socially compelling circumstances such as, at their extreme, a great financial crisis or an imminent external threat, and/or propelled by the persuasive impact of determined national leadership. And since only the president has a voice that resonates nationally, the president must drive America's renewal forward.
Thus, America's central challenge and its geopolitically imperative mission over the next several decades is to revitalize itself and to promote a larger and more vital West, while simultaneously buttressing a complex balance in the East, so as to accommodate constructively China's rising global status and avert global chaos.
Without a stable geopolitical balance in Eurasia promoted by a domestically renewed America, progress on the issues of central importance to social well-being and ultimately to human survival would stall. America's failure to pursue an ambitious transcontinental geopolitical vision would likely accelerate the decline of the West and prompt greater instability in the East. In Asia, national rivalries, foremost between China and India and Japan, would contribute to greater regional tensions while eventually intensifying the latent hostility between China and America, to the detriment of both.
Alternatively, a successful American effort to enlarge the West, making it the world's most stable and also most democratic zone, would seek to combine power with principle. A cooperative larger West, extending from North America through Europe into Eurasia and embracing Turkey and a truly democratizing Russia, would geographically reach Japan, the first Asian state to embrace democracy successfully, as well as South Korea. That wider outreach would enhance the appeal of its core principles to other cultures, and thus encourage the gradual emergence in the decades ahead of varied forms of a universal democratic political culture.
At the same time, America should continue to engage cooperatively in the energetic and financially influential but also potentially conflicted East. If America and China can accommodate each other on a broad range of issues, the prospects for stability in Asia will be greatly increased. Hence, to respond effectively in both the western and eastern parts of Eurasia, America must adopt a dual role. It must be the promoter and guarantor of greater and broader unity in the West, and it must be the balancer and conciliator between the major powers in the East.
Both roles are essential, and each is needed to reinforce the other. But to have the credibility and the capacity to pursue both successfully, America needs to show the world that it has the will to renovate itself at home.
Now that ends his quote. I want to talk with you on a more personal basis, for I would like for you to take note that in the face of total global economic collapse, the prospects of a massive international war are increasing. Historically, periods of imperial decline and economic crisis are marked by increased international violence and war. The decline of the great European empires was marked by World War I and World War II, with the Great Depression taking place in the intermediary period. This is part 1 of our discussion of one of the great visible puppet masters of our time. Please drop us a commit and come back for part 2.